Now's the time to talk about Monday Night Raw from June 2nd, 2003, because I don't watch anything modern, so might as well go back in time. Haven't done this in a while. Like I said at the top of the show, this is the episode of Raw where The Rock basically called Christian a crackhead. Because the headline was The Rock on Y2J's highlight reel. And side note, before you guys don't know, my wonderful co-host texted me at 3 o'clock in the morning one time when she was she was supposed to look for this particular episode, and she let her shadow scare her into thinking the episode wasn't on Peacock. So
I actually did.
I'm asleep 3 o'clock in the morning because I'm like, oh, I finally remembered to go to sleep, and she want to roll over. She want to text me. She's like, I don't see it. I'm like, oh wait, that's my shadow.
It gotta be this one. It has to be this one. Please.
All I could respond with was laugh my ass off because I'm like,
and I was like, well, that must be a yes, because
that's all I could respond at the time. I was like, you know what?
I was like, okay, well, he responded me with a laugh, so that's a good thing. So like, I'm on the right track then.
She's in the right year. At least she didn't do 2002 because 2002 was a year for WWE. It seemed like 2003 to 2004 was decent.
Yeah, like the early 2000s. Yeah,
it was decent. And then right when 2004 hit, that's when everything kind of went blank for me.
Okay,
I think I pretty much blacked out around that time, and then 2006 is when it picked up, and then 2007 I blacked out again. It's a lot of blacking out. I think I black out a lot watching wrestling, and this week I think watching this particular episode pretty much started my blackout phases all this week because good God. The show like doing I missed this intro package so much for some reason. With the whole Eric Bischoff and Stone Cold Steel Shots doing the intro package, and I'm like, why am I looking at two grown men smiling at me right now? It's 2:00 in the morning. Why are two grown men smiling at me and y'all trying to gross me out? Like, come on, man. I'm new. I've never done this before. Leave me alone, man. But The Rock showed up to Raw for the first time since his Backlash loss to Goldberg, still under his Hollywood gimmick. The Rock was just on one to open the show talking about the people's booty while drinking Diet Mountain Dew, and I had an out-of-body experience for some reason. I was like, what?
Are you sure this is the Raw era or the booty era? Because this man just can't stop saying this word right now.
Like, he just stopped and then did a full turn and said, oh, don't look at the people. I'm like, what? What did you just say? What are you talking? I was like,
why I can't look at the people? Why? Like, what's going on?
I'm like, oh, okay, you was on something, bro. And then the intro themes went off. You get the theme song is literally, you get the guns, the drugs for my generation. I'm like, yeah, y'all talking about my generation because all we did was deal with the guns, the drugs.
Makes perfect sense.
Then we started off the show with Trish Stratus, Jacqueline, Ivory versus Women's Champion Jazz. Respect to Jazz. I won't say rest in peace. Respect to Jazz because she's one of the most underrated people in my opinion. Victoria and Molly Holly. And this is when I probably blacked out the most because King was probably clipping his microphone with how loud he shouted, "Puppy!"
That was me. Yes. When I saw that, I said, okay, because here's the thing. Like I said, I was still awake. So as soon as I saw this part, like my eyes started to doze down. I was like, dang, man, like I know I need to hurry up and watch this, but come on, bro. Like you are literally taking my time. My melatonin is kicking in. This ain't helping me right now. Like this is not working.
I'm trying to tell you, I blacked out so much. I don't even know what happened in this match. All I kept hearing was puppies. Like, what the fuck is puppies?
I'm like, what? I'm like, please don't throw that P word around. Like,
I feel like for some reason he wanted to say pussy.
Yeah, but he couldn't say it.
He couldn't
on live television.
I really felt like, bro, you kept saying it. It's like in different ways. It's like
He was ready for it. He like, I really want to say this word so bad, but I'm not trying to get fired.
I want to say.
So-
I'm like, bro. I feel like he just kept wanting to say puppies. Like he went from puppies. The puppies are flying tonight. Puppy
like,
power.
wow.
The fuck is puppy power? Like
That's Scrappy Doo.
puppy power. What?
Yeah, Scrappy
trying to
Doo
tell
says
you.
that. Puppy power. Yeah,
Like,
that's Scrappy Doo.
But he was saying it for not
yeah,
for
I
Scrappy
know.
Doo.
like,
He was not saying it for Scrappy Doo. That man was
I was
saying
like,
puppy
man,
power.
you pulling a scrap. Oh, I definitely gotta go to sleep.
I
After
said,
you did that. Like
I was so close to getting going to the drugs part on this. I'm like, bro, I need drugs. I need this would have been the perfect time for me to try crack. I'm trying to tell you, I was literally about to start smoking crack, watching it, listening to the King talking about puppies.
oh man.
I need crack.
That's what this has come to now.
This has come to this point where I literally about to start. I was literally about to hit up my plug. Say, bro, do you smoke or do you sell crack? I was so over it. This was just the opening match. The baby faces picked up the win on this one. Ivory pinned the women's champion with a face buster, which was basically the default finisher around this time. Like they did it, the Bellas did it, like pretty much everybody did the face buster. But all I wrote down in my notes was puppy power. What the fuck is puppy power?
I was like, okay, puppy power? Question mark? Question mark? Question mark? Like, I need to know.
I need to know, why did you just randomly shout puppy power and then the puppies are flying? Like, oh my god! And then they brought this man back in modern time, and this man was trying so hard not to say puppies during the women's Royal Rumble matches. Like, oh god. Moving on before I black out again talking about puppies.
Nice way to put it.
Let's move on before I black out again. Goldberg showed up ready for a fight and just pushed Coach out of the way. I get it. I don't want to talk either after I'm pissed off at the world. Then they aired an ad for JR's cookbook, and I was so intrigued for some reason. Like 2:00 in the morning, I wonder if it's still around and what recipes they have on there.
Yeah. I was like, now I'm about.
Do they have?
I was like, I want to know, JR, what you got? Like,
do they have Stone Cold mac and cheese? Or rock strudel?
See, that's what he said. Rock strudel. I thought I was gonna get southern for a second. I was gonna say, do they have like rock and peach cobbler? I'm just saying, like, because I would go for it. You know what I mean?
Or
let me try.
Or puppy power. Fuck.
Goldberg
greens. Puppy power.
Goldberg greens.
Some Goldberg greens or some stratosphere mashed potatoes.
Okay.
Or some, who's the world champion? Some Triple H pork and beans or pork and beans and or ribeye Jake and steak. Jake and steak Roberts.
Okay.
I was getting hungry basically thinking about this stuff. I had to pause it for a second. Watching this part because I'm like, I'm genuinely hungry right now. I had to go get me a hot pocket. Then we get
that's crazy. Like you eat I can't even eat those things anymore. They make me sick.
Oh, you got a weak stomach. Sucks to be you.
I think it's because like no. I don't know. I think it maybe has something to do like when you get older too, because like how you can eat something so much to the point where you get sick of it. Yeah. And then your body's just like, nah, I don't want this junk no more. Like,
that's like me with
this trash too much.
That's like me with pretty much every breakfast food in the world. Like I can't.
Oh wow.
I can't really eat bacon, sausage. Like every time my mom would hit me up whenever I come over, she'd be like, you want some bacon? You want some? I'm like, I can't eat it. She's like, "What can you eat? It doesn't go down."
That's me with hot pockets and seafood. And I know I'll probably get a lot of backlash for this. I don't really care, but I hate seafood with a passion.
I had me some scrimps before I came on here, so
I hate it so much. The last time, I'm not gonna lie, the last time I did eat good shrimp was when I was in Miami for my birthday. Me and my brother's birthday, because our our brother, like I'm the only sibling here.
Yeah.
See what happens?
I'm gonna say we got a brother. Like, okay, cool.
Only got one little brother, so it's like our birthdays is like really, really close together. So my birthday is January 30th, his birthday February 1st. We went to Miami, and I was like, you know what? How about we just try this out? We tried a seafood platter for the first time. It was great. And I was like, why am I really enjoying this? And I don't even eat this mess. Like, I don't care.
Were you under the influence?
Oh yeah, of course. Like,
exactly. Yeah. People don't understand the power of drugs. You get the drugs from my generation. The theme song said
you got a huge big margarita cup on your table. Like, what you gonna do? Go let it go to waste?
You eat everything.
Why not? We paid our money. We better drink this.
You better eat it. Oh, I will force it down your throat. Like, you gonna eat this today. Like,
I wasn't gonna go out like that. Like, no.
like what the heck? Like, you ain't gonna waste my money now. You gonna eat this food. You gonna
But the thing is,
eat the cake.
I know how to cook seafood because I learned from my parents. So it's like, yeah, I'll cook it, but I won't eat it. And it's, oh God, I think it's gonna be weird. Like when that time does come around and I'm blessed with my significant other and we get married, like my husband's gonna love seafood, but I'm not. Because I'm like, listen, I'll make you some, but I'm not eating it.
That's a lot of extra cooking because you won't be eating it. And maybe you'll get some,
like,
maybe if we
I'll
find
make
this
it for you and your cousins and all that, but I am not.
I'm about to say, maybe if we find this cookbook, you'll be able to find some significant recipes.
Yeah, it might. When it comes to the kids part, they say like
just get them some fish sticks and call it a day.
They crave different stuff. So who knows? Maybe it'll change.
Just get the kids some fish sticks and call it a day. Just get the kids some fish sticks and call it a day. Next up, we get Tess and Stacy Keibler. They arguing and Stacy dumps him, but Tess reminds her that she's still his marketing director and it's far from over. Tess was an intense heel, and this was like, dang, this dude actually know how to make you not like him. Cool. Rest in peace. Randy Orton then attacked the Hurricane, and Evolution just got rid of him, and we're about to get an Evolution segment, and I was like, oh God, here comes another Triple H promo. Not gonna lie, when Ric Flair said Shawn Michaels wanted to be him when he grew up, growing up as a kid, I thought they were all the same age.
Oh wow.
so I thought Shawn Michaels was like 5 years younger than Ric Flair. I didn't realize it was that much of a gap.
Yeah, I didn't.
When I first started watching, I was maybe 6. I started watching in 99. So how was I?
Well, I was 3 in 99.
So I was 4. I was one of them numbers. I was 94, 95, 96, 97. I was 5. Yeah, I was 5 watching. So when I first saw Shawn, when I took a break, came back in 2000 and was it 4 or 5? One of those numbers. I came back. I thought they were all the same age. I didn't know the difference between age. Like I was a toddler, but I was a child. So it was what. Then Ric Flair proceeded to cut these promos, and when he was cutting this promo, I thought he was going to have a heart attack or a stroke with how red his face was turning. I was like, "What the fuck? Like, calm down, sir."
And if you're gonna fall out, please, like, can we please have for some METs on standby, because there's no telling what's going to happen at this point.
That dude was
screaming.
You're gonna
fall out. Just go ahead and fall out. Just do it, man. Like you're gonna be fine, but if you need to take a break,
man was screaming. I'm like, the fuck? What are you screaming at? Like, did he steal your lunch money, sir? Like, did he steal the woman that you was smashing earlier? Like, what is going? Why are you this mad?
I swear, man, testosterone is on a whole nother level. Like, I see why, like, God put us on this planet, because man, like, I think no, for real. I told one of my friends the other day. I literally said, man, if men lived in a world where it was just men, they'll die, because they all compete with each other. Some compete too much, to the point where they about to kill themselves just to be at the top. It's like, dang, like
not me. I'll be somewhere smoking a blunt.
I'm like, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta gotta have some of them in the crew because it's like, man,
I'll be
ain't no
somewhere
way.
smoking
Like
a
you're not about
blunt.
to. You know, they like, man, please, you're not gonna get me killed. Like you can go do that by yourself. At least there's some smart ones out the group. But
What's that mean that it be using?
like, dang,
that's gonna be my mean every time someone bring that up. Like shit, shit.
Well,
I ain't killing nobody. Oh, y'all could do all that. Y'all could be y'all testosterone levels. So I'm gonna be if I ever become a wrestler, I'm gonna be the weed head. I'm just saying.
See, that's how I feel. Like I told my parents about that. I said, listen, if I ever, God forbid, if I ever got into like if I did get because the thing is like if I didn't think about doing engineering or being a stagehand, that was my second option. Like I was like, I either want to wrestle or be a UFC fighter. And the reason being is because, yeah, like I would love to inspire a generation after me, especially like little black girls like me. Why wouldn't I? But best believe I would have been the calmest one out the whole group because I'm not.
I'll be the calmest one. And when I get that first check, I'll be getting me some new teeth.
Exactly.
And get me a t-shirt that says wreck everything and leave.
Exactly. Like, oh yeah, like I gotta promote. Like, ain't no way.
Know what I'm saying?
I just can't wear my merchandise. I gotta wear this too. Like
I'm like,
support. Yeah. Like
I'll be rocking the Eat, Sleep, Flex, and Repeat t-shirt, which you guys can get over at teespring.com. Rick, moving on with this segment, Rick says he passed the torch to Triple H and not Shawn Michaels. He said this, and I quote, and I wrote it down for some reason. He said, never get off her until she says, my God, I can't take it anymore. I said, thanks for the sex advice. Like, all right. Like, this was like, my God.
My God. Go ahead. Y'all might as well just show out there. Like
what the heck? Like, bro, I'm telling you this right now, ladies, I cannot last that long. I'm telling you, like, even though I'm a virgin, yes, I'm a 26-year-old virgin. I don't really care who judge me on that, but because I'm gonna give it to the right one.
No, you're fine. It's okay, bro. Like,
no, I'm saying like I don't need validation on that. I'm like, I don't care. But I'm just saying, like, yo, I'm probably not gonna last that long. I'm telling you this right now, for ladies, whoever interested in me, I will not last long at all. I will probably, tell you, I'll probably 10 minutes. And that includes foreplay. So you'll get what you get. Just letting you know. Like
you get what you get.
You get what you get. But thanks for the sex tip, Ricky. After Ric Flair said Shawn Michaels will be his bitch at Bad Blood, because I guess that's the pay-per-view they're building for. SBK came out to interrupt, and Rick, he said this, I gotta say it in his voice. Rick, I want to make it perfectly clear, because he had a raspy voice that was kind of cool. Mm-hmm. You didn't pass the torch to me, I took it from you. At Bad Blood, I'm going to show the world that Space Mountain is nothing but a broken down old rod. And I'm like, cool. And then Rick just went crazy. He was literally about to jump out the ring and die face first. I'm like, bro, you really about to give yourself a concussion just to sell this promo. And then Triple H grabbed the microphone, and I was expecting a long-winded promo, and I was literally about to do anything else. But he kept it short and sweet, fortunately for this one, as he called Shawn Michaels out for a fight. Shawn proceeded to walk, and then Kevin Nash walked out, and a brawl went down with Hurricane coming back, taking out Orton with a steel chair. The babyface is still tall in the ring after Nash laid out Triple H with a big boot. And that was, I guess this was the build to the main event. And side note, I will never get used to seeing Triple H with long hair, because I don't got used to his papa grandpa look that he got now.
Yeah. Okay, so with the long hair with Triple H, like the only reason why I really liked it back then is because when he got in Blade, I was like, yeah, okay, cool. Like,
oh yeah, I forgot about him. Make it run. Like, I forgot that man was in Blade. Yes.
I was like, make him run just one time. That's all I want to see. I just want to see the man run. Like, see how it looks.
Was it Blade 1 or 2 that he was in? Was it the second?
It was 3. Blade Trinity.
Was it 3?
Yeah. Okay. With Ryan Reynolds.
Oh yeah, Ryan was in that one. That I vaguely remember the third one.
And Jessica Biel. I totally forgot Jessica Biel.
I vaguely remember the third one. I remember the first 2, but I vaguely remember.
Oh yeah, I definitely remember the first 2 off the bat. Like,
I think the reason why I barely remember the third one, because they said Dracula and I blacked out again. It's whenever I'm watching movies and something is stupid.
I felt like they could have picked a better Dracula, in my opinion, because
I was so dry. That's probably too. He was like,
I couldn't take him
Oh,
serious at all. I was like, man, give me another track. Like somebody who's gonna make me be like,
he's
what? Like
scary. This guy, I saw. I think when I saw this guy, I think I probably just turned it off. I was like, this guy does not look believable. He's just there.
I can't. He's just right. He's just there.
You know, like he's just there.
He's
But the
just
next,
there to look good right now with this costume on. Like, he's just reliving the ancient time right now. Like,
this dude was wearing whatever the time was with the dress code back around that time. But speaking of dress code, next up we get Scott Steiner with Stacy Keibler with Steven Richards. Stacy with the leg gimmick, and I mean I get it. She was cheeky with the tight stuff. Then King made me black out again. He said I would like to meet Stacy's parents because she's well reared.
yeah.
And I just said, the fuck? What?
Whoa.
What?
I'm like, yeah, y'all just go ahead, say anything.
Like, all right, I get it.
Say anything then.
This wasn't really a match. Test came out and caused a distraction for Richards to get a cheap shot to start the match. I know the reaction during his entrance was one thing, but Scott's demeanor, like this is my opinion on Scott Steiner around this time. His demeanor and match style did not scream babyface to me. And I think that's probably why a lot of people didn't really care about Scott Steiner back then. He was a natural heel if you kind of watched him in WCW.
Oh yeah, like how he acts and everything. Yeah,
he didn't really scream.
Yeah,
like watching this match,
him to be a face.
Yeah, watching
and I
this,
used to always like, say that.
Yeah, watching
like
this,
even when I watched him, I was like, I don't want him to be a good guy. Like
he doesn't scream good guy. He always screams like the cocky prick.
Make him bad, please. Make him. I mean, I don't like the word betrayal, but if you got to do that, do it. Like just turn.
And I think when they turned him heel, they did eventually turn him heel around this like a few months later. It was a little bit too late. If he would have came into the company when everybody cared as a heel, because his style
would have been cool.
His match style screamed heel. Like if you go back and watch the Triple H matches that he had in the beginning of 2003. It was more so of okay, he's doing suplex. He was taunting and all this stuff. I'm like, bro, this dude screams heel. I don't want to cheer him. I want to see him get his ass whooped. So it's stuff like that. I felt like watching this. I'm like, yeah, he was completely miscast. And then by the time they gave up on him, they straddled him with this storyline with Stacy Keibler and Tess, and I'm like. I don't care. Stacy Keibler was good to look at for a child going through puberty, but I'm like, okay, this was something. Steiner picked up the win, and they actually measured Stacy's leg on commentary. I was like, I don't forgot. I didn't write down the measurements. I was
like, why are y'all measuring this man's leg? Like,
they was like, she's there's like 82 inches or something like that. I'm like, why are you measuring her legs? What?
Like, let this girl just let her go, please.
Eric Bischoff then came out and he made the match for Bad Blood between Test and Scott Steiner, with the winner getting Stacy Keibler's managerial services, which I can tell you from my memory bank, I believe Scott Steiner won this one. So she was his manager for, I'm guessing, the rest of his run until he turned heel. Then we get an Eric Bischoff and Stone Cold Steve Austin segment. Austin basically makes a 6-man tag team main event, Evolution versus HBK, Hurricane, and Kevin Nash. This was pre-Batista, so Batista didn't come in until I believe December because he was injured. He was injured at the time. Then they make a redneck triathlon for Bad Blood between the two, and I think I remember how it ended with Bischoff having Mae Young's pie. I use that with air quotes in his face. She basically gave him the Gronko Buster. So if you guys want to check that out, be my guest. Then we get a Goldberg Jericho segment where they did an interview and Jericho throwing paint on Goldberg's car and Goldberg chasing after him on the car. And then that led into the segment where The Rock basically called Christian a crackhead. With Jericho running away, new Intercontinental Champion Christian has taken over the hosting duties of the highlight reel. 65% said they did some type of poll, and I was like, okay, about the JR's cookbook. They said 65% think the book will be a bestseller. I need to find this book though, for real. It could, check it out, even though I probably won't cook from it. I guess this is the first edition, unofficial edition of the Peep Show as Christian took over. The Rock finally makes his entrance, and I don't know about anyone else. I love this entrance. It was, I think, I gotten so used to if you smell what the Rock is cooking, then but this one it was so slow. I still remember the one he had at No Way Out 2003. He like, if you're smell, if you're smell, la, 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 look at the tongue, look at the tongue, look at the tongue, la 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 la. I was like, they did that for one night. They was like, yeah, don't do that. I was like, well, damn.
Why not?
The Rock went for his finally gimmick, and Christian interrupted it, which is something you just don't do. And he did his own version, introducing himself as the new People's Champion. I don't know about the Christian hate. Like, I don't know, a lot of people don't really like Christian if you watch AEW or whatever, or the lack of respect. But this man could actually cut a promo.
Yeah, he can.
Like he's a believable heel. He's a corny babyface. I'll tell you that. But when he's a heel, he's actually more believable. Mm-hmm. I'm on a roll. I'm on fire. Rock cut him off when he's like, I'm on a roll. I'm on fire. You on crack. I was like, what?
Rock was lit, boy. Like, he was in there.
When he said that, I did not expect to corpse the way I did. Like, I posted on Twitter and people started retweeting it. I was like, bro, this is GOAT status. And like, this man saying you on crack. I think around this time he was obsessed with calling people, saying people are crackheads. Because I think he said the same thing to Coach when he did a promo interview around. He's like, are you on crack, Coach? Are you on crack? And I was like, bro, you are. I think he learned a new word and just said, fuck it, I'm go with it. The Rock did the rest of his catchphrase. He's like, your mama's a slut, your daddy's a hoe. You interrupt the Rock like that, he'll whoop that ass all over San Diego. And I said, Sir, did you just call his daddy a hoe? And like, what? like, wait. And it had reminded me like of a DMX moment, like in a way, off of was it Party? Oh yeah,
I think it was Party.
Oh man,
your girl's a
your girl's a slut.
Everybody knows. I was like, oh my God, damn it.
But yeah, this was oh man. When I tell you I corpsed on this, I was trying. I think I paused it and was laughing for a good 30 minutes with this entire line right here. And then Christian random ass talking about, my daddy ain't no hoe, he's a pediatrician. The fuck? What?
Yeah.
What? What are you talking about?
The joke.
like you just literally just like, it's like that.
Don't mess it up.
He fucked it up right now. I was like, sir, what?
Moving on a roll.
The Rock.
Speaking of JR's cookbook, it is still available on Amazon. If y'all want to go cop that, you can.
Well, is it $1?
Nah, the hardcover is $8.53.
$8?
Yeah, that's crazy. And the paperback costs more.
Man, I gotta go on my piggy bank.
It costs more than that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I definitely
it costs more than the $8.
What's the price for the softback?
The paperback is $22.76. And it says only one left in stock. Order soon, people. That junk crazy. $22.76. $3.99. But I think like they got a $3.99 delivery going from June 17th to the 23rd, and the fastest delivery is June 15th to the 18th. That's crazy.
They always say the hard is better. With pause. Wait, let me rephrase that.
Well, 4.5 That's crazy.
Never mind. Let me rephrase that.
Crazy.
Oh no. The Rock then went to the people. I feel like they practically freestyled this entire segment, and they didn't even feel like cutting it out, because I feel like none of this stuff was literally on script. I feel like because he went to the crowd. He practically turned babyface at this point because he was a heel. He surveyed the crowd, and these marks were going crazy. Like, whenever he put the mic in their hand, they were screaming to the mic. I'm like, sir, what the fuck? Hopefully he didn't have his wallet on him, because I'm pretty sure they would have snatched that real quick. And when he made his way back to the ring, he was like, someone touched him and he lost all hit the bass in his voice. Like, oh, someone touched the people's strudel. I'm like, sir, what? Like, they touched the
This
strudel.
man here.
I feel like he
dang,
just.
boy.
I was like, sir,
I think he was just so excited I don't know, maybe just make money. Like he was happy.
I
He
was
was
like,
just
bro, you just
being the
lost
breakout
all.
star. He was just like, I'm just gonna live it up. I'm gonna enjoy this whole moment.
Yeah, the up and comer, The Rock, with enjoying the
I'm going to
segment.
enjoy all of this.
And then Chris Jericho, he finally made his way. He made his way out there, and I swear, for the love of me, I think I blacked out again. Because soon as he came out and said Chris Jericho into his house, and I blacked out. I said, the fuck?
I was like, nah, not in this house.
His house. I'm like, oh my god, this sounds so
Dang.
2003. Hearing that now, it's like that. Hearing his house and then looking at the dance moves that we did back then, because one that like his house, and then 2-3 years later we started doing the crank that.
See,
watch me, you
just boy,
soldier boy up in that hole. The Rock, some crowd members, I guess he was trying to get control. The Rock was making his way to the ring because I think they sent Chris Jericho out of there because he was so bummed. He was so held back in the crowd. They had to give time for the Rock to get back. He made his way to the ring, and someone, like I said, they touched his dick, for the kiddies who don't know what strudel is. Then the segment got serious when Jericho asked Rock how it felt to get speared by Goldberg, calling back to his backlash match with him. Some crowd members was chanting Rocky sucks, and Rock took control of it by saying the Rock gets more pie in a few weeks than they get in a lifetime. And I'm like, huh. So he was basically saying they've never been felt by a woman before. Makes sense. The Rock threatened Jericho, and then Christian attacked him, and it was a 2-on-1 situation until Booker T made the save as he was facing Christian at Bad Blood. So I guess he had a reason to be out there. The Rock then did his comeback before hitting the spine buster, followed by the People's Elbow on Chris Jericho. Rock hit the rock bottom on Christian, and then had Booker do the People's Elbow, which was a lot more stiff than how he does it. Because you know how the Rock does his little twisting of the hands. Booker said, "Nah, fuck that. I'm just gonna go straight down." It got a pop. I'm gonna show you how to do it the manly way. Rock and Booker stand tall, and when Rock went to lead, Booker asked Rock to hit the Rock-a-Rooney, which is basically the spin-a-Rooney. And Rock was terrible doing that. I'm like, what is this? I guess because of what he had on or whatever, because he had on it was around the era of the leather vest and the leather pants for some reason. And he had hair at this point. And he was a lot smaller. But I felt like I said, I felt like this entire segment was improvised, and I think this was the peak of this episode for me because everything else was just pretty much a cruise ship. Next up, we get tag team champions Kane with RVD versus Rene Dupree. This was basically a match where tag team opponents faced off in one-on-one matches, respectively. They do this all the way, even to this day. This match was typically the old USA versus the world gimmick, with the foreigner being France instead of the UK or wherever it may be. Rene Dupree he did the dance that he does where he skips, and I was so confused. I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Sir.
Why is this relevant?
Like, sir, please enlighten me.
Please don't do this ever again in your life. You're that dancer that we have on a dance group that we put in the back for a reason, because you just downright terrible.
I could take Shane's dance again over him, like just for fun. Cause Shane, like Shane does his little dances. It's like I know it's Shane.
Money.
Like, that's Shane. It's like, yep. Like I know this individual.
RVD went for a moonsault on Grenier, whatever they call the name. But he moved out of the way. Kane went for the chokeslam on Grenier, and Dupree hit the low blow for the roll-up win. And then that was that. And then Stone Cold Steve Austin came out for a promo looking at RVD and Kane. This was kind of, I believe this is around the time where they start building to the unmasking of Kane. Like he went full psychotic in like 2 months. Stone Cold basically wanted to know what happened to the monster, the badass he once were like a few years prior. I thought you were going to choke slam one of them some bitches through the ring, ain't? You know, Stone Cold had to get his gimmick in. I'm like, all right. Stone Cold then started provoking Kane and trying to get him to get angry and turn into the monster of old. Stone Cold then slapped him, and that pissed Kane off for a moment, but Kane let him go, and Stone Cold then hit the stunner before walking away. Kane then set up, and that might have pissed off Kane, or did it? This was basically a start, like I said, of the beginning of the unmasking of Kane, where this was a few months before Kane fried the testicles of Shane and Tombstone Linda and went full crazy, choke slamming Eric Bischoff off the stage. So it was basically a full throttle of just the build to that. So that was a segment. Then next thing we get the Booker T and Goldust versus Chris Jericho and Christian. This was a solid back and forth tag match. It's funny to me how looking at this match, how 3 out of 4 is in this match is in AEW right now in 2021. I was like, well, damn, this is funny. Booker T hit the scissors kick to pick up the win. Jericho hit Booker with the title belt off the skull and did the same to Goldust. Goldberg came back down to the ring to take out Jericho, but Jericho sidestepped and Goldberg speared the hell out of referee Charles Robinson. I'm like,
yeah,
Little Nate is hurt. Little Nate is hurt. Ref down. Blondie down. Pimp in distress. Donna.
Blondie
Bishop.
down.
Bishop.
Donna.
Donna. Pimp down.
Did you hear me?
Did you hear me? The referees. You trying to play him, Pimp, ain't you? I am a boy.
Oh man, I still like Cat. No, hear nobody say like.
Oh yeah, I know a lot of people pissed at him before he said it for council culture. He told the truth.
Right.
The referees don't want to referee Hell in the Cell at Bad Blood. Is Hell in the Cell happened? This was around the time where Hell in the Cell was actually meant something. It wasn't a gimmick pay-per-view. It was actually it was built to end feuds.
Yeah, like you used to be one of them kids where you'd be like, yes, we got to get pay-per-view. Like, we gotta get it. Like
now it's like, do we want to watch? Oh yeah, it's a pay-per-view today. Cool.
Yeah, man. When my granddad was living, we had to go to his house to watch it. Like we didn't even have pay-per-view in this house. Like the only thing we could watch was just the basic cable stuff when it came on live, and that was it. When it came to the pay-per-view,
I ain't paying for shit. The first pay-per-view I ever paid for was WrestleMania 27, and I regret it to this day because that show was terrible. Outside of a select few moments with The Rock and all that stuff, I was like, this show was
trash.
I could have watched this on a completely legal website on online. Then we get it really was. Then we get our main event: Evolution versus HBK, Hurricane, and Kevin Nash. Randy Orton had the most generic guitar riff Virgin 1 theme song I've ever heard. I still will never, to this day, looking at this entrance when Triple H came out, I still will never to this day understand how no one tried to jump Triple H for spitting on him.
Yeah,
the entrance is iconic, don't get me wrong, but if I'm sitting in that crowd and I feel just an ounce of spit, I'm jumping that barricade. We fight. Like you ain't spit on me.
Y'all couldn't just give him one pop, just one, like one hit.
They gave him, they said, and then I'm like,
they just let him go on. It's like
I wouldn't bet you that someone put their hand out like, yeah, I got spit on by Triple H. Fuck that.
Nah, you won't be spitting on me, player.
Nah, we ain't doing that. We don't do that here. We don't do that here.
Just throw the water. Like you ain't even gotta open the water bottle. You can just throw me the water bottle.
Just give me water. I like free water. I like free water. Just
give me the water. Like
that's another thing. He be tossing the water bottle and he don't put the top back on. So he tosses the water bottle. You just see a bunch of water just splashing
everywhere. Like this is not a wet t-shirt contest.
My thing is
on that and give me the water bottle.
My thing is, it's like, bro, did you short circuit any technology over there? Because I'm pretty sure they had wires over there.
That's no, you're right. You're absolutely right. And I just okay, so y'all not gonna address it, like y'all not gonna
Y'all let him do this for 20
bottles,
years.
or y'all don't have nothing where y'all don't have to worry about, any of this water hitting any wires.
Yeah, I
Are
did
you
this for
sure?
20 years. They did it for 20 years. So I'm guessing they didn't really have too much of an issue. Either that or he tossed
Like,
it to the opening in the crowd and just said,
same thing with the beer, but it's like that's different because I mean Stone Cold, he'll stay in the ring with it. I think maybe I've seen him throw a beer once, maybe I'm not sure, but
I think he threw a beer at someone because they pissed him off. He just threw it.
yeah, I
He
think so.
said,
Yeah.
bitch.
But other than that, like I remember this, like I think one segment, like when I was watching Hot Ones, and he was saying how he was like, man, we went through so many like beers in that one show. I said, dang, dude, like
Yeah, to be honest with you, if
it's
you
like you think when what you see on camera, you think it don't be a lot, but then like when they start talking about it, it's like, oh dang, it was more than I thought.
because if you ever look at him taking the beer, it never hit, a lot of it doesn't hit his mouth. So
No.
if you add the tally up, I'm pretty sure all the beer that actually went in his belly probably was amount of one glass of beer.
Probably, yeah.
Because everything else is just
All that money. I was like, man, you wasting money.
yeah. They got the money.
I mean, you got the money, but
I don't cry over rich people spilled milk.
Nah, of
Not if
course
they richer
not.
than me. That's like me, like when I said, but when I put out that tweet, when I put out that tweet, I said I talk shit about wrestling on
Oh
on the
yeah,
podcast, but I'm not finna argue or do anything or let rich people's problems affect me.
affect me. Yeah, of course not.
That's not
That's
my
just like
bag.
saying that's just like saying, oh well, we had to file. We've been walking around claiming that we're homeless, knowing darn well you're not nowhere near homeless. Come on.
Exactly. I'm like, bro, I'm not.
I'm not gonna have any pity upon you. Like I'm not doing it. You made more money than me. What do you
You made
mean?
like at the top of the podcast when I said I was like, okay, I wish them well, but I'm not finna lose my
Yeah,
mind
like
over.
I'm not gonna cry or get mad or get angry. Like for what?
They don't even know I exist. I doubt they listen to my
Right.
small
Like
podcast, bro. I doubt it. Like so
they're not looking at my tweets or my likes, no way. Like
so like
I have to really make a very standout comment that would top everybody else's for them to
exactly.
look at
One
it.
time I trended was when I was talking about Nick Cannon can't rap. It was wrapping up the wrong head when they announced he's having another set of twins. And that I think that tweet got like 24K likes and almost over 100 retweets. I was like, oh, this is what trending feel like. Okay, moving on. I don't lose my mind over Twitter. I don't lose my mind over nothing. I'm like, okay,
I don't
moving on.
either. Like even I'll never forget. I got a chance to like. Here's the thing. I never really thought like the man who tattoos the Usos and Roman them. I never thought he would be so cool. And I like his work anyway, so I gave him a follow, like just because. But then after a while, like I kind of like made a comment. I was like, "Oh, the work is dope," and blah blah blah. This man actually liked what I said and responded.
Yeah.
I wasn't shocked, but I was like, dang, like I didn't know he was paying attention.
Oh yeah, some
I
people
didn't
pay
even
attention.
know he was really paying attention like that. Like cool. That's a check off my list, I guess. But a little close. Like
But to wrap up this Raw review, this main event was pretty. I feel like the peak of this show was the Rock segment. Like
yeah.
anything after that was kind of like, oh, okay, cool. I'm glad this show was 2 hours and not 3. I could digest it because it was when it's 2 hours, that means the on demand that we watch is like an hour and 33 minutes or hour and 30 minutes because they take out the commercials and stuff. So I'm like, yes, this is a short one.
That's what I like. It's like when you don't have advertisements, cool. We can run this whole entire footage through.
Exactly.
When you put in the ads, it's like, dang, now I gotta. So obviously, it makes me feel like all this stuff that went in my head is about to go out. Mm-hmm. And then when it comes back, I gotta get right back in the mode again. Like, no,
I think the problem with American ads is The ads for America are so terrible and
They
boring.
are.
I just walk away because I remember growing up. I used to sit through commercials because the commercials was eye catching.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, I don't give a shit.
I had to do the same. And I was like, what? Why is this even on my TV screen? This is not benefiting me. How you gonna promote something that says it can help cure the problem, but at the same time causes more problems? This ain't helping us. You lying. You false advertising on my TV. You should be shot. Like,
yeah.
You should be sued, shot, and put in front of a firing squad. Like, this is ridiculous. You done wasted my time and yours by promoting this trash on my TV. I ain't gonna take it. I ain't got nothing. So you wasting my money right now.
Anyway, before we get canceled on certain, because I'm pretty sure people read between the lines. The end of the match came when Triple H came out of nowhere, hit the pedigree on Hurricane, and Orton pinned him, but I think Earl Hebner fucked up and everyone was confused. Nash hit the jackknife powerbomb on Triple H to end this portion of the segment, and JR tried to cover up for Earl's fuck up by saying the referees are worried about Hell in a Cell, blah, blah, blah. And the ending was confusing, but like I said, the peak of Raw, and that pretty much wraps up this episode of Raw from June 3rd, 2021. Oh, 2021. It is 2003. The ending felt very modern Raw. That's why I was like 2021. Like I said, the peak of it was The Rock calling Christian a crackhead, and basically talking about somebody touched his dick without touching, and it was weird. So that concludes Monday Night Raw from June. Why this man was talking about crack?
I literally try to figure out, like, when they do they promos, I hate using the word, maybe it's easy, but I don't be thinking it is. Cause like sometimes I could tell like when somebody's like reading off trying to get it out versus when somebody is just like naturally flowing with it. So it's like it's kind of, I don't know, like I think it's kind of hard to grasp. Cause if I ever did a promo and I had to do a scripted promo, I'm automatically gonna forget.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna turn out. It might turn out the way you think, if not better. But then again, like it might be ugly to me because I'm be like, dang, I don't even know what to say right now. Like,
I'm terrible at following the script.
Yeah, it's like
I will improvise in a heartbeat.
All of a sudden, it's like you gotta cut maybe 1 or 2 or 3 times with me, like because I'm not gonna remember Jack.
Especially if it's a character that I know I can't get into.
I can't, like.
But that concludes Monday Night Raw.